everybody! This has been definitely a long time coming. I was waiting for something specific, but I decided that since a certain somebody has expressed interest in this game, why not show them what they could be in for if they decide to give it a shot? So, what I am going to do is I'm going to make a brand new character. And this is that character. This was pre-made before because I tried to make a pre-recorded video, but the upload process encountered errors. So, rather than try and pick up where I left off on this character, I decided that I was going to delete and remake this character. Let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. There we go, 29. Minfinia, Gladiator, Sarkatanas, Serena, Gincite. I will be giving... Right. This game has a lot of people playing on it at a time, so sometimes this will happen. This world is currently full, players in queue 29. Very popular game. Anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted by being in the queue to get into the game, I will be giving voices to male characters, but not female, since female voices and me being a male do not mix. So the females will be read with my own voice, if there is no voice acting, and the males will be given a voice that may or may not change if I forget what voice I gave that character. But I'll try to make it as close as what it was as possible. This is the second Final Fantasy MMORPG.
Here.
I won't say whether it's more or less successful than 11, because I haven't played 11, nor have I done any research on 11.
Feel.
But this game is definitely one of my favorites, one that has me coming back and playing it every day. It's a really fun game, especially if you have friends that you can play it with.
Hear. Feel. Think.
Hi! Hi, you! You alright, lass? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Feeling the effects of the ether, I reckon. You'll look at you through it though, don't worry. You there! Wait. Wrong accent. You there! Halt! What's all this about? Inspection! Men, search the carriage! I'm just an honest peddler, friend, so don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. I don't believe that for a minute. I didn't even notice it before, but he pulled that out of his own pocket. Sir, look, Somnus. Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days, unless you can afford the fine. Business as usual. Ah! Amosia! Amosia! To arms! To arms! Seven hells. Consider this a warning. Now go, all of you! I just got bitch slapped. I never really got why they used curved swords like that. Oh well. Phew! That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. You be careful around them blast braids. Wow! It is so difficult for me to keep my tongue straight in this accent. You be careful around them brass blades, lass. Bastards will have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits they are, only less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, eh? Hey, seeing as we've got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Them young'uns don't care much for compensation, see. Burns that I'm, and peddling's my trade. And judging by your unusual garments, I'll wager you're one of them new adventurers. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business. These days, especially. What wasn't the first attracted you to it? Yeah, I'll keep silent, because honestly none of those three are really why I would go adventuring. Well, if you aren't inclined to tell, I ain't about to pry. Might be as old Brent's a chatterbox, but he sure as hell ain't no busybody. We all have secrets of three, don't we? Eh? Dozens. And I'd rather they stayed secret too. Which is why I don't go sticking my nose where it ain't welcome. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. By the by, is this your first trip to Urda? For the sake of people who have never played this game, I will say yes. My original character started out here, and this character is more for people who have an interest in this game, but not really sure if it's really their cup of tea, or and for people who are still kind of on the fence about it. As well as people who have played this game, and started in a different city-state, and don't want to start all over. It is? Well then, let this journey itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. It's gonna be a struggle with how they word things in this game, I can already tell. Ul'dah is ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folks know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monetarist cronies would happily get rid of her grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists. And the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, thrown the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no sign of stopping. Of course, the Lizardmen, that's the Amalja, couldn't care less about Ul'dah politics. They have their own interests, see? And they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers. Need breeding. See, when I recorded this video, when I recorded the video and tried to upload it, if I can English properly, I also struggled with this particular line of text. They say war is a gift to peddlers. Need breed and profit. Though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. Ah, at long last. Behold Ul'dah, jewel of Thanalan, where folk turn sand into gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises. A solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance. Her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the seventh umbral era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark an era of prosperity for the realm.
And here's where I part ways, lass. I'm out to the markets to deliver me wares, and then it's onto the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for putting up with me prattle. Sorry about the squeaky chair. Gonna be doing that for a while. You never did tell me your name, though. Hi, but here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I will consider a squire.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Narrator interrupted me. Anyway, as for what he means by the seventh umbral era, the people of this world describe the eras in two ways. Astral, which 9 times out of 10 usually means they're more prosperous, and umbral, which usually means that they're in decline. And this game is actually the 2.0 of Final Fantasy XIV as a whole. The 1.0 version was exclusive to PCs and was supposed to come out for PS3 at the time. But there was so much wrong in the coding of the game that no matter what Naoki Yoshida tried to do to fix it, it just wasn't savable. It couldn't truly be redeemed, and it couldn't be made basically what it is now. So what he did was, I believe in the patch 1.5, I think it was, he introduced a bit of story where an enemy by the name of Nail Van Darnus had, through machinations that I don't know the details of because I didn't play 1.0, made the lesser moon of Dalamud fall. And while Nail Van Darnus was indeed slain, it didn't stop Dalamud from falling. And what nobody expected was that rather than it being a lesser moon, it was a prison. A prison for one of the most iconic characters in Final Fantasy ever. See, the Lesser Moon Dalamud was the prison of what is in this game called the Elder Primal Bahamut. And he rained devastation all across the land. Until one man gave his life to stop him, ushering in the 7th Umbral Era. Anyway, to the present, we just got off the cart. City-state you started, and honestly, with the opening cinematic is different depending on which city-state you start in. There are 3. Ul'dah, where I am now, Gridania, and Limsa Lominsa. We'll visit each of them in time, but those are the 3 that you can start in, based on what class you pick at the beginning. Now, I'm sure most people who have played MMOs such as WoW or EverQuest know this, but classes in this game are divided into 3 major categories: tanks, healers, and DPS. Now, when this game first came out in 2014, I think it was? 2013, 2014? Somewhere still in the PS3 era? There were only a few select classes you could pick from: Gladiator, Marauder, Conjurer, let's see, Pugilist, Dragoon, Archer, Thaumaturge, and Arcanist. The Gladiator, the Pugilist, and the Thaumaturge start you in Ul'dah. The Conjurer, the Lancer, and the Archer start you in Gridania, whereas the Marauder, the Arcanist, and I believe the Rogue start you in Limsa Lominsa. The Gladiator and the Marauders are tanks. The Conjurer is healer, which leaves the Pugilist, the Lancer, the Archer, the Thaumaturge, the Arcanist, all DPS. Lancer and Pugilist are melee. Archer is ranged. And Thaumaturge and Arcanist are magical. Oi, Venturer, over here! Aye, I mean you. Fresh out the carriage by any chance? Eh? How can I tell? Name's Wymond, and my business is knowing every bugger else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of welcome to our fair city? Free of charge even, just this once like. Now, these starter classes, I say starter because they do get better over time. Why was my camera panned out so much? There we go. Anyway, welcome to Ul'dah, the shining beacon of prosperity rising from the deserts of Thanalan. Control scheme, controller. And I have 16 messages! I need to find the mail Moogle as soon as possible, so I can claim them all. But first I have to do the very first quest of the game before any of that happens. Alright, close that. Anyway, what I was saying is... Let's see if I can access the list. Yep. See, all of these not all of these classes are accessible right out the gate. Gladiator and Marauder are. Conjurer is. Pugilist, Lancer, and Rogue are. Archer is. And Thaumaturge and Arcanist are. Dark Knight is something... Dark Knight, Astrologian, and Machinist all came with the first expansion called Heavensward, which we will go through at a later date. Samurai and Red Mage were introduced with Stormblood, the second expansion for this game. Also something we'll go through at a later date. Blue Mage was introduced, I think, at some point in 2.0? Maybe 3.0? I'm not entirely sure. But a Blue Mage is a limited job, and meaning that all of these other classes can level up to level 80, whereas Blue Mage can only level up to level 60. And Blue Mage is unique in that it uses the abilities of your enemies against them. Now, each and every single one of these classes has a better form. Except for Arcanist. Arcanist has two. One of which is right here. The Gladiator will become a Paladin, the Marauder will become a Warrior, and Dark Knight and Gunbreaker just stay the same. Because Dark Knight you get in Heavensward, and it starts at level 30. In the most recent expansion, Shadowbringers, Gunbreaker, and Dancer were introduced, and you can't get those until you're level 60. The Conjurer will turn into a White Mage. The Pugilist will turn into a Monk, the Lancer will turn into a Dragoon, and the Rogue will turn into a Ninja. Samurai will stay the same because you can't play that class until level 50. Archer will become a Bard. Machinist and Dancer will stay the same because you get Machinist at level 30 and Dancer at level 60. The Thaumaturge will turn into a Black Mage. And the Arcanist will turn into a Summoner, and if you feel like dabbling in healing a little bit, without having to start at level 1, you can also unlock Scholar at the same time. And if you prefer Summoner over Scholar, then you level both at once, because you're not getting Summoner experience points for it, you're getting Arcanist experience points. So by getting Arcanist experience points, you end up leveling both Summoner and Scholar at the same time. Red Mage will stay the same because he can't get that class until you're level 50. So, let's start off with story, shall we? Also, that star on top of the screen is a buff known as the Road to 70, meaning I will get more experience points until I hit level 70. Coming to Ul'dah. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Ul'dah, you must register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. It's plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. Before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the Quicksand and speak with Mamadi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild and can set you on the right path. Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventure and adventurer. You have begun a quest. Use the duty list to help you complete your task. Yeah, these green question mark things that pop up are active health. So if you're new to the game, you can look through that. Anyway, let's just see if I can actually oh, nope. Hey, weren't you on that carriage that just arrived? All new adventurers are required to register at the guild before wandering off into the city. Yep, I can't go check my mail just yet. There's a reason I'm gonna go get it, and I will tell you about it when I go get it. Why, hello there. Who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name's Mamadi, and I own this fine establishment if it please you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, so you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you that it is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Amalja, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on, forever now. Then there's the Garlean Empire. I made reference to that when I mentioned Nail Van Darnus. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. By the way, little known fact to people who are getting this game now, but when this game first came out, you could not play as a male Makote or a male cat person. You could only be female. And if I can find a Rogadin, I will show you that example. And it was gender locked to only be male. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all, there's worry. Worry and a lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder. It's scarce been 5 years since the lesser moon Dalamut cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an 8th hell. Bahamut! So much was lost in the blink of an eye. It was like the end of the world had come at last. But then things began to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next. Some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that, but the fact is they don't. Nobody does. There is one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollection of those brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the Calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I'll bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating! But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten, and so we'll call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. Alright then, a promise is a promise now. I'm I'm counting on your help to put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand, too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register. Neat as you can. Serena Gincite. Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. Alright, Miss Gincite. On behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 was my witness. I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a 4th chance to offend. You two, attend to this scum. No, please, mercy! Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Nor an uncommon one, if I'm honest. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? Of course, I do enjoy hearing a lady muse on the many manhoods in her acquaintance from time to time. You're making a lot of assumptions there, little lady. Any road, welcome to Ul'dah, Serena. Take a moment to catch your breath and I'll teach you a little about our fair city. And with this, the first quest is complete. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. You've taken the first steps as an adventurer in the city of Ul'dah. Listen well to the wisdom of Mamadi. Yep, that is her last name. And there are lots of Lalafels in this realm that have names like that. Then go forth and discover the incredible adventures that await you. And with that, I am already level 2. Like I said, that star at the... Why can't I leave? You can't keep me here! You can't keep me here! Let me out! Let me out! I want to check my mail! Oh, fine. See, it said that I got 100 experience points for completing that quest. What I actually got... Or was it 400? Either way, what I actually got was 800. See, that right there says 400 experience points. Mamadi, the proprietress of the Quicksand, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform so as to help you get to know the place. Oh, you mean like when I tried to go charging out that door to go check my mail and I screamed, "Let me out!" First of all, I want you to visit the Aetherite Plaza. To get there, head west from here till you reach Emerald Avenue, then look to the north. You should see a giant floating crystal called an Aetherite. If it weren't for Aetherites, traveling around Eorzea would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you still need to attune with them before you can use them, so be sure to do that with the one in the plaza. You ever attuned to an Aetherite before, Serena? If not, just lay your hand on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you've done that, I want you to pay a visit to the Gladiators Guild over at the Colosseum. Assuming that sword just ain't for... I had a bit of a dyslexic moment, even though as far as I know I don't have dyslexia. Oh well. Assuming that sword ain't just for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange over on the steps of Thal. Goods from all across Eorzea and beyond turn up there every day. You'll have no trouble finding armor, weapons, or anything else a fledgling adventurer like yourself might need. You may say that everything's for sale here in Ul'dah, as long as you got the guild. Well, let's hope that's not literally, because that could open the door to so many bad things! Just make sure you don't pay more than you ought, Serena. There's plenty as won't scruple to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think no one's looking out for their best interests. Which is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Cesaroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the markets once he's read it. In short, then, visit the Aetheryte Plaza, the Gladiators Guild, and the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. Oh, but before you go, a word of advice. While there are more than a few unsavory characters out there who will try to take advantage of you, there are also some with honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. A lot of folk are lured to this city by the promise of wealth and power. What many of them fail to realize is that instead of chasing after Gil the moment they get here, they ought to be making friends. Let it be known that you're willing to give them as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak with the smith over yonder. Those lads always have some good advice for up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, that's about it from me. It's past time you got going. Oh, and let me know when you've finished, will you? That way I won't spend my days worrying that you're down to your small... The light, the phrasing in this game is gonna get me. That way I won't spend the rest of my days worrying that you're down to your small clothes without a guild to your name. I'm a tough girl. I got a sword. I can handle anything. Hear that? I'm a blooded tank! And with this quest being accepted... Once the loading screen stops loading... There are actually other people here! Let me just get through these real quick, and I can finally go and check my mail. So, the vast majority of these letters that I have in the mail a Makote female named Kitty Cat. Not very original, I'll admit. Anyway, so I have 16 letters in the mail, and they are all from the Final Fantasy XIV dev team. A lot of them for being subscribed for X amount of days. Some of them for, one of them is for a pre-order bonus. A couple of them, actually 2 of them are for pre-order bonuses. 2 of them are for collector's edition items. And one of them is for the Refer a Friend campaign. Greetings, tall one. I'm a delivery moo-moo, Kupo. Oh, wait. I had the perfect voice for this.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Logos are supposed to hide in trees and avoid contact with outsiders. Why would they ever agree to carry about letters? Why, indeed. If I had my way, I'd be curled up under the canopy of a nice oak dreaming about some beautiful mooglets with a rainbow-colored pom-pom, Kupo. But no! The moon had to go and drop from the sky, causing all of that terrible commotion. Aetherites were shattered and link pearls rendered useless. For moons, the poor wingless people of Eorzea had no way of communicating with each other, beyond screaming at the top of their lungs, which no one really approved of, Kupo. That is until the little horned ones asked us to assist them by delivering messages. At first we were wary of showing ourselves, worried that one of you might catch and skin us, like you do every other forest furry.
Interesting phrasing.
But once we saw how much we were appreciated, we knew we'd found our new calling. And I personally promised to try and not read any along the way, Kupo.
Not liking the sound of that try.
Look what we have here! 16 new letters have arrived for you, Kupo!
Yeah, that voice is gonna really tear up my throat. I can already tell. So, from the top to bottom, this is a thank you for playing Final Fantasy XIV. This is a minion. It's nothing really special, it's just like a little thing that follows you wherever you go. But they're still fun to collect. This is a Fantasia. Legend states that any who drink this mysterious liquid before lying down for the evening will awaken a new man or woman. It grants you a single opportunity to edit your appearance in the character creation screen upon your next login. Basically what this means is if you end up being, say, a human or a Hur, and you want to be a race that you think is a bit cooler, such as an aura, or as I like to call them, a dragon person, because they have horns and scales and such, or if they want to be a Makote or a cat person. All they have to do is use a Fantasia, or buy one if they didn't get a free one in the game, take off their armor, or more than likely put on their starting gear if that works too, log out, and then they are able to change the appearance and even race of their character. Now I probably won't be using this Fantasia, but I will take it anyway. There are certain items in this game that are untradeable. This is another thank you for playing Final Fantasy XIV. This is a black Chocobo Chick minion and a couple of Cascadier uniform vouchers that I can use later. As for what? Well, you'll just have to tune in when I get to the point where I can use it to find out. Anyway, this one is another thank you for playing Final Fantasy XIV. Another minion. And this is a mount, even though it doesn't look like it. A metal tuning fork that, when struck, emits a low tone which opens a temporary rift in the void, allowing your personal Aramin, and your personal Aramin only, to run a chocobo that you get later in the game. Now, all of these items will appear in your inventory, be they minions, barding, or mounts, until you use them. And then when you're able to summon them, like, for example, minions are able to be summoned right off the bat, but you need to progress to a certain point in the story to be able to ride mounts. You'll be able to use them. And here we have a wind-up leader. A leader who will follow you unquestioningly, for coin and country, for serenity, purity, sanctity, till sea swallows all. And a behemoth horn. I get my own personal behemoth. All of these items that I'm claiming, with the exception of any clothing or armor that I might get, are put in my inventory. Here's another example. A minion, a wind-up Odin, another minion, the wind-up Warrior of Light, and the Barding of Light that I can put on my chocobo. And these are Aetheryte tickets. These basically allow me to teleport for free. This is another thank you for playing Final Fantasy XIV. This is another thank you for playing Final Fantasy XIV. We get a wind-up goblin and a goblin cap. See, the goblin cap was placed in my armory chest instead of in my inventory, because that is where your armor and weapons go. Case in point, another thank you for playing Final Fantasy XIV. This is an outfit that will give you the clothing appearance of Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. And yes, I'm going to keep deleting these as I go. This is a pre-order bonus for Heaven's Ward. I had pre-ordered a copy of Heaven's Ward for PS3 when it initially came out. And this is what I got for it. A Baron Circlet, a Baron Earring, and a Black Chocobo Courier, I think it was? Ah, this is another thank you for playing Final Fantasy XIV. Like if it says thank you for playing Final Fantasy XIV, it usually means that it's a thank you for being subscribed for X amount of days in a row. This is the Wild Rose attire, which allows you to look like Firion from Final Fantasy II, if you've played it, or Dissidia Final Fantasy if you've played that. Okay, now I'm gonna go and delete this letter. Here we have the Tantalus outfit, as another thank you for being subscribed for X amount of days. I don't even remember how many days I had to be subscribed to get this. This gives you the appearance of the character Zidane from Final Fantasy IX, which I actually still have to finish on my channel. Don't worry, I'll get to it. Now this is for participating in the Final Fantasy XIV Recruit a Friend campaign. Basically, my girlfriend, Mary Moo, if you've watched any of the videos from Misty Meow and Mary Moo, decided to give this game a try, and we did the Refer a Friend. And as such, I got 5 gold chocobo feathers out of it, and the Improper Greetings Ballroom's Etiquette book, which essentially is an emote. You use it, you learn the emote that is contained in the book. This gives me the fist bump emote. Ah, this is because I got the digital collector's edition for Stormblood. I got a chicken knife for the Red Mage class. I got a Silderhorn, which is a mount, and I got a Wind-Up Parts, which is a minion. By the way, if you're wondering... Hi, Jenny. Anyway, if you're wondering why this place is decorated like that and why this eerie music is playing, it's because of the fact that they started an event called the Rising. That is the celebration of the anniversary of the game. This is another thank you for playing the Final Fantasy XIV. This is the Leonhardt outfit, which gives you the appearance of Squall Leonhardt from Final Fantasy VIII. And now when I'm able to delete this letter, I will delete it. Delete, delete, delete. This is a pre-order bonus for pre-ordering Shadowbringers. The Baby Gremlin was just to say, hey, I pre-ordered Shadowbringers, and honestly, it just adds to the minion collection. This is a very important item that is definitely going to be used a lot. The Aetheryte Earring increases experience earned by 30% when level 70 and below. Attributes and item level vary accordingly to class and job, and current level when equipped. Okay, now I delete. And the last letter. The Shadowbringers Collector's Edition items. The Revolver, a glamour item for the Gunbreaker, the Granny Horn, and the Wind-Up Brat. This is actually something I never explained in the video I tried to record before, but essentially what glamour is it takes one thing and makes it look like another. If I'm correct, this is Sapphire Jenny. Now I will switch out this earring for the Aetheryte earring, and I will equip the Ring of Freedom. And now I will go and do this quest, while also accepting Way of the Gladiator at the same time. There's a quest that goes along with this event, but I need to be level 30 to be able to do it. And here we have the Ul'dah Aetherite Plaza. Hail, adventurer! Might you have come at the behest of Miss Mamati of the Quicksand? Excellent! Which brings us to the matter of the attunement fee. That will be 100,000 gil, if you please, madam. Apologies, but I do so relish in the opportunity to make that jest. The look on your face was absolutely priceless. But the fact that you were so easily deceived suggests to me that you are unfamiliar with the use of aetherites. Allow me to explain. These crystalline agglomerations. That is the wrong word for me to say the word that is on the screen. These crystal agglomerations tap into ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Perchance you have heard of return and teleport? Well, these transportation spells make direct use of the aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. Given that there is an aetherite in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer with a mind to explore the realm will wish to seek out and attune herself to each and every one. But even if you have no intention of wandering beyond the Sultanate's borders, it would be prudent for you to attune yourself to any aetherites you encounter from now on. I pray you found that information informative. Wow. I pray you found that informative. Should you wish to learn more about aetherites and transportation magic, I should be happy to answer your questions. And now I go to the Gladiators Guild, and I'll learn to return. Basically, if I hit that, I end up coming back here, my current home point. You can only have one home point registered at a time. If the cursor can get to that, I can get it off my screen. Wrong way! I should probably attune to the aetherites, or the Ethernet shards while I'm here. That'd be a good idea! Essentially what happens with the Ethernet shards... Actually, this might explain better than I could. You now have access to the Ethernet. Quick travel throughout the city can be achieved by simply placing your hand upon Ethernet shards. Attuning to the shard has granted you access to the city-state's Ethernet. The Ethernet can be used for quick intra-city travel. Basically, if you end up popping up at, say, the entrance to the Gladiators Guild, and you want to go to the Adventurers Guild, all you have to do is put your hand on that Ethernet shard, or simply target the Ethernet shard, click on it, and then it'll bring up a menu asking you where you want to go. You click it, you press the button, and then you're there. Well, I mean, after a short loading screen, but I mean, come on, how many games these days do not have loading screens? Yep, I'm just running around the city in the starting outfit for a Makote. Here we have the Ethernet shard for the Thaumaturge's Guild. Or as I like to call it, the Future Black Mages Guild. For this is where they start out. That is all the Ethernet shards for this side of Gould's Eye, I believe. And another reason that I decided to come this way instead of going the way I was going is because this is actually the quickest way to get to the Gladiators Guild. And honestly, I am not entirely sure what voice to give this receptionist, because of the fact that when it comes to Lalafels, the little teeny tiny people that we see all around the realm and such, it is very difficult to determine. I am being followed by a Rogadin. I'm not sure I like that too much. Welcome to the Gladiators Guild, friend! Tell me, are you new to the thrills of Mortal Kombat? Well, whether you are or not, you are new to us. If you would like to take your place in these hallowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting, and like as not, far worse. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there is no other way if you mean to take to the Blood Sands one day. And why wouldn't you? The Colosseum is only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Ul'dah. Where else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim a seat on the Syndicate? Ah, there's not an Ul'dan alive who isn't inspired by the rise of the self-made man. And there is no truer embodiment of this than the gladiator who wins riches and fame with his sword. Throughout its long and storied history, this guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory, to fight and triumph amidst the roar of 10,000 voices, then this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy. And if your soul stirs, join us. Sorry, I couldn't help but throw that last bit in. Way of the Gladiator. Lulutsu wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Gladiators Guild. What will it be? Will you rise above the masses and inscribe your name in legend? Or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? Interesting choices. A decision you shan't regret. One moment. Make way for Serena Gincite! Fresh meat coming through! Now then, before your enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Sword Mila. Seek her out and obtain her approval. Okay. Hi Mila! Do you approve of me? Am I pretty enough? I heard Lulutsu. So, you're Serena Gincite. 'Tis a good, strong name. On behalf of the Gladiators Guild, allow me to welcome you. I am Mila, Guildmaster here. So you wish to study our arts? So you wish to study our arts? I presume you have your reasons for choosing the sword over all other weapons. Perhaps you think it easiest to learn. A sword is a simple weapon, but to wield a blade well is anything but simple. For every Colosseum champion to emerge from our ranks, there have been countless disappointments who failed to achieve greatness. Bear that in mind before you answer me, Serena, for I do not ask this question lightly. Have you the strength to live by the sword, and if it be your fate, die by it? Then welcome, Gladiator, to your new home. Let's not waste time, shall we? I will gauge your aptitude for the sword. Just outside the gates of Ul'dah, you'll find plenty of marmots, hornets, and shrews. Slay 3 of each and return here when finished. A simple task, but essential to your training nonetheless. Now go! Yeah, not gonna lie, for every single class in this game, with the exception of the ones that you get at later points in the game, they all start out the same. You have to kill 3 of 3 certain enemies every time. I know because on my main character, which is not this character, I have gone through it for every single class. Yeah, on this game you don't have to start all over if you want to try out a different class. If you picked Gladiator at the start, but you want to try Thaumaturge? Go right ahead! You don't have to end up going to start a new character just to try out Thaumaturge. All you have to do is go to the Thaumaturge's Guild and accept the quests that you need to do to be able to get you in there, and I have no idea where the heck I'm going right now. I am looking for the Ethernet shard, and I clearly went the entirely wrong way. Aha! I found another one! I see what you did there, that is clever. I see you over there, lean over. I have attuned to... By the way, in addition to battle classes, such as Gladiator and Marauder, there are also crafting classes, such as Goldsmith and Weaver! And others, such as Blacksmith, Armorer, Culinarian, and gathering classes, such as the Miner, and the Botanist, and the Fisher. I'm sure there is many a person out there who is a master of all the crafting classes, as well as geology, botany, and ichthyology. Sorry, I was trying to remember the right terms to describe the essentially what each gatherer tends to deal with when it comes to their particular skill set. Mining being digging through rocks and the dirt to find ore and perhaps jewels. Another one dealing with trees and bushes to get herbs and logs. And the fisher to get fish, obviously. And you are? Oh, a newly come adventurer. But of course, I am Cesaroga. What can I do for you? Ah, you would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace? Very wise. As for my fee... What? You expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Uldan for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you could afford my services, but the fact you offer nothing is laughable. Oh, Mistress Mamordi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Uldar's markets have ever served as both the literal and figurative centers of Eorzean commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Velbrand and Aldenard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Uldar as their base of operations. They see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek, adventurer. A deadlier sword, perhaps? Or a shinier trinket? Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. I'm not so sure about that, because there are so many things that people might want that can't be sold in the marketplace, at least not legally. To the north, you will find merchants peddling armor and accessories, curatives, and crafting materials. And to the south, you'll find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. seek out a particular merchant or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. Ahem. That is all the complimentary aid you shall have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Mamadi. Now off with you! Had to get that off my screen. And I am sorry about that voice if it was a little too grating. I had to make him sound posh and narcissistic and self-absorbed and yeah, basically a douche. I'll be honest, I have not seen an anime that has a character that has a voice like that has not been a complete and total douche. I'm just going up here because of the fact that A, I'm going to need this particular Ethernet shard for later quests, and B, if I end up attuning to every single Ethernet shard in the Ethernet of Ul'dah, that means that I will be able to... Hello, Ethernet shard. I will be able to gain access to the gates, and that is... This Lalafell is wearing attire that I will be wearing in the future. This is a level 50 paladin. Okay. That was just kind of great. I don't know why, but it was just kind of great. Hello, lift attendant. I do not need your services. Thank you. Okay. Ah, over here is where I want to go. Up the stairs and up more stairs, and then I go to the left, and then oh look! More stairs! Well, I will give the Uldans this. They don't need to worry about their cardio. God damn. This, I believe, is the last Ethernet shard I need to attune to. And then I will get access to the gates. Nope, I'm missing one. I don't know where, but I'm missing one. Let's see. Alchemist Guild, got that one. Chamber of Rule, got that one. Did I attune to the Weaver's Guild? No, I didn't. I need to remedy that. The main purpose of this stream right here is not only to give people an idea of what they can expect if they want to play this game, but also to kind of redo the stuff that I already did. So that when I stream it again, because clearly the pre-recording and uploading idea is not the best. You have attuned yourself to all the Ethernet shards in Ul'dah. The gate of Nald, the gate of Thal, and the gate of the Sultana, and the airship landing are now accessible as Ethernet destinations. Yeah, that guy that just ran away in that pink skirt, that was a Rogadin. And that was a dude. I will go to the gate of Nald, thank you. Oh, look at that. 60 experience points just for going to Central Dataland. Thank you! Okay. Now, I'll be able to show you guys the combat in this game. You target onto an enemy, such as this. I know it's not attacking me, but that's because of the fact that it's docile unless attacked. You see how there's like a little clock motion going on that that bit on the hotbar? And look, I'm level 3! So if you're on controller or if you're on PS4, you need to hold R2 to bring up that side of your hotbar. L2 for the other side. You end up hitting the corresponding button that is linked to an action. The reason that there is that clock-looking visual on the action of Fast Blade is because of the fact that that is on a global cooldown. You are not able to simply smash an ability like in some other games. Like in Kingdom Hearts, it's... Oh, hi, Jenny! Anyway. Like in Kingdom Hearts, it's just kind of like mash X to win most of the time, whereas this, you can't just keep mashing the circle button and just keep using Fast Blade over and over and over and over again. There's a cooldown for it. And this is how you end up getting your damage out there. By using abilities such as Fast Blade, instead of just standing there and letting your character auto-attack. That is a mistake that I made when I first started, because I thought the battle system was similar to 12, but instead I found out very quickly that that is not the way to do it. And I say found out very quickly, as in I went to go fight something for my gladiator quest, and I died. I know, the mistakes new players make in MMORPGs. I am going to do myself a favor and use all the usables in my inventory so that I can clear out space. How you doing, Jenny? Everybody, it's that fire Jenny. You guys probably ended up going to her stream earlier, didn't you? Don't lie to me, I know you did. As I said before, you gotta use all of these items to be able to actually use them. They all go into your inventory unless you use them from your inventory, and then you use them from your inventory, otherwise you won't be able to use them later. It's going good. I'm kind of getting close to back to where I was. Not entirely sure what was up with the whole upload situation. Hopefully I can get that figured out soon. Nope, not the Hornet. I killed 3 of you already. Here, Shrew! Face me! Your turn! Come here!
You shall be mad at me! You shall hate me!
Alright, that's done. And I'm level 4. Yay! And I just got a combo action. Sometimes your global cooldown abilities will have other moves that they can combo into, unlike Plastic Gloves over there, who is clearly a thaumaturge. But anyway, these quests are done, so now I can go back into Ul'dah, and I can go and turn them in. I need 1,700 experience points to get to level 5. How many experience points will I get for turning in the Way of the Gladiator quest, I wonder? Honestly, if that quest doesn't get me to level 5, turning in the main scenario quest probably will. Honestly, the Aetheryte earring stacked with the Road to 70 bonus, you are going to level like crazy. I mean, very quickly. I think I'll turn in the Way of the Gladiator first, and then I will turn in the main scenario quest. You can tell the difference because the outline of the little checkmark icon has a bit of a meteor shape to it, kind of. Whereas the Way of the Gladiator is just... it just kind of looks like that. That marker right there. It just looks like a normal, everyday chat bubble. Welcome back, Serena. I take it you've dispatched the beasts, and with ease. Rest assured there will be far greater challenges to come. If you wish to master the sword, you must test yourself against a wide variety of foes. To this end, I present you this hunting log. It contains information on creatures ideal for a gladiator in training. Who's my friend? What do you mean, Jenny? You will doubtless gain valuable experience should you seek out and slay them. It is only with such practice that you will recognize and eliminate the deficiencies in your technique. Your training under me shall continue once the haft sits so snugly in your hand that you cannot imagine holding aught else. Until then, Serena. The next gladiator quest will become available from Mila upon reaching level 5. You'll get... That did not level me to level 5. But I got 800. Just like the first time. Anyway, so class quests, regardless of your class, for the first 50 levels, they tend to happen every 5 levels. Oh, so, 1, I feel like I need to elaborate. I feel like I should elaborate on this. I never said that they were my friends, and I also never said that they were a streamer. I just know of them from videos that one of their primary members has made. And it is because of those people that honestly ended up... Like, I'll be honest, some of the things that I have said with you guys before has come from them, primarily their FC leader. For example, what's a good example of something that Celadon said? So, the YouTuber that I knew was on this server is Scribble Liz, and her free company, the Wings of the 12. I believe I mentioned them when I told you about that glitch that I actually witnessed happen with the Dragoon dying in a dungeon and their bodies still moving around and jumping. Yeah, that happened to Celadon while they were fighting Nidhogg, while they were doing Nidhogg Extreme. And it was just hilarious to see. I mean, I know it was because he was DCing, but it was still funny. And then I actually saw it happen. I honestly don't know why I was just running on the railings right there. Running in circles is just kind of a default for me, and I don't know why. How was your tour of the city, Serena? Get lost, did you? For a little bit, yeah. Kinda, yeah. Even though I've been here, like, many times. No biggie. Aye, well, Uldar's a big place with lots to see and do, but wandering around aimlessly don't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So when you go exploring, explore like you've got a purpose, eh? Alright then, all that's left is for you to work hard, make money, and spend it here at the quicksand. What do you know? That leveled me to level 5! We must rebuild! Well, youngin', how are you finding... Yeah, I said youngin', but there's an L in there. What is wrong with me? Well, youngling, how are you finding our fine Uldar, then? Got your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you ventured beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Uldar are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalan, that's another altogether. I know a bloke you might fancy speaking to, and he you. Name him Papa Sean. You'll find him over at the Uldan Dispatch Yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. The dispatch yard's over in central Thanalan. Just head out the door across the hall and you'll see the Gate of Nald staring right back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it for long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though. More than I care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack you if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. Honestly, I think this is the quest that I left off at in the video before. Well, what? Oh, you are a paladin, it looks like. Judging by the fact that he has a sword and shield, I just had no idea what armor he had on. Oh well! To the Gladiators Guild! To do the level 5 class quest. And see if I still have those deep and gruff, kind of thuggish voices. And if they still cooperate with me. Ah, Serena, I take it you and your sword have become better acquainted. Oh, yeah, it's not cutting me no more. Yeah, we're good friends. Then I will now instruct you on another fundamental aspect of what it means to be a gladiator, commanding an opponent's attention. This is basically the tank's job. So I hope anybody who plans on being a tank pays very close attention to this bit. As gladiators / tanks, we are trained to engage enemies at close range, weathering their attacks as we deliver our own. However, there are times when we must do battle alongside allies whose talents are not the same as our own. In such a situation, your role is not to slay the enemy in front of you, but rather to defend the man beside you. We do this by eliciting the enmity of our opponents through attacks and techniques designed to incite their hatred. Hence my comment before when I was attacking the shrew, saying that he must hate me. You must learn to draw the enemy's attention to yourself and to trust in your stout constitution to endure. In so doing, you protect your weaker comrades who would otherwise perish. DBS! Oh, hi kitty cat. To help you better understand this, there is a task I would have you perform. It just so happens that Mamadi of the Quicksand has requested our assistance. A gang of Lominsan marauders has paraded into town and begun harassing people outside her establishment. Anybody who wants to play Marauder, do not let these people determine or formulate your opinion on Marauder. You must... I bet you did. Anyway, yeah, don't let these particular Marauders deter you from becoming a Marauder yourself. The class does not end up, like, the attitude does not make the class. It is what the person does with the class that makes them a good or bad Marauder. Men like these prey on the weak, but will turn tail and flee at the first sign of defiance. You need not resort to violence. It will suffice to show them that you are not afraid of them and will not tolerate their behavior. Seek out the Lamentsons and make your presence known by bellowing, "Face me, Marauder!" In this way, you will protect the people of Ul'dah as you would your allies in battle. Okay, I'ma go do it.
Whee! 360! No scope! No scope!
Nailed it. Well, we need to go to the Adventurers Guild, so the Adventurers Guild is where I will go. Hello, loading screen. Good to see you, my friend. I'll be seeing you a lot. Now, okay. There's one.
Bugger off! Can't you see I'm having a civilized conversation with this poxy Orson? Me! What? You're blaming me because his little shite shat his own pants? Well, bugger him and bugger you too.
Oh, trust me, I think when this game goes on PS5, it'll be so much faster for loading. At least that's what I'm hoping. Also, Jenny, any feedback on the voice I gave that Marauder? He was big, burly, so I figured he needed a voice to match. Also, any cussing that I tend to do while reading this is because of the fact that I'm either A, falling over my own words, or B, reading it on the screen.
You got a lot of nerve thinking you can talk to me like that.
Oh yeah?
Me! Oi, come on now! You was disrespecting me proud Seawolf heritage! Fine, I'll leave the bastard be, but we ain't finished.
And my good friend Bree is online. I can't wait to tell her that there's an EXP bonus in Sagatana. See how many friends I can get over here.
We'll adventure together, it'll be so fun!
The hell is you want? There's no concern, you so bugger off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm going to say,
Me! You know your friend here's a 12's damn cheat. Thinks he can charge us more because we're foreigners. But he'll get his own back, mark me words.
and then last but not least,
Just turn around and walk away, adventurer. Are you deaf? Get lost! Me! The hell's is your problem? Maybe she likes her men rough. What are you supposed to be, your bleeding lady in waiting? Bah, it don't matter, you've gone and spoiled the mood. Good.
it's people like you that end up giving Marauders it's people like you that end up making this place such a bad place to be. Hold on a second. I'm back. Okay, now for this guy.
Me poxy arse, is this your brew? I'd sooner drink a pint of my own piss than this will. Me! Just who the hell do you think you're speaking to, maggot? I'm Farmel the Driven. And me and my bloody marauders have been reaving so long, mothers scare their children with tales about us. Don't believe me words. It'll let me axe do the talking.
Oh, this is lively, even for the quicksand. You two going to put on a show for us?
What's this? Another goddamned fool. Show some respect when you talk to...
Farmo the Driven, leader of a troop of bloody mummers of some such. I heard you the first time. Your voice carries quite well.
Then unless you want me to split your skull with me axe, you better... That sword... It couldn't be... Frenzy? But only the sword of Nald would... Bloody hell. It's you!
You know, I've never been one to stand back and watch. Mind if I join the fun?
But begging your pardon, sir.
Why do they always do that? Looks like it's just you and me. Standing up to that Laminson was quite brave of you, and quite foolish. I think I like you, Gladiator. Name's Aldous, and I'd buy you a drink, but I'm afraid I just spent the last of my coin. I used to be a young gladiator like you. Back then, but that hardly concerns you. These days, I'm just an explorer of the unexplored, a seeker of the as-yet unknown experiences. Like that beautiful stranger keeping my bed warm right now. Gods, I've missed this city, this wonderful desert jewel of debauchery and sin. Now, if you'll excuse me. Just as a warning, that particular voice, the kind of smooth yet deep voice, probably gonna come back a lot. Oh, there's Mamadi. I was gonna go talk to the innkeep. I swear, if I hadn't seen all this with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it was him. Everyone here thought he died years ago. Listen, Serena, do me a favor and don't tell Mila about meeting Aldous, alright? She doesn't need this sort of drama. Why? Well, let's just say some folk ain't good for one another. Okay. I won't tell her. Not a single word. I could have made this so much quicker if I just went out the doors that led to this staircase. Whee! To the Gladiators Guild! Away! Ha! Chillin' villain. I like it. I approve. So approve. I've already heard of your exploits at the quicksand, Serena. You did well to send those marauders packing. I wish I could say we've heard the last of them. Alas, we've received reports of axe-wielding raiders assaulting merchants traveling through Scorpion Crossing. It seems words will not suffice after all. I want you to finish what you've begun, Serena. Head to Western Thanalan and see that farmer the Driven, and all those who have shared in his crimes and never troubled the people of Ul'dah again. Okay. Just a shame for them that this is not Fire Emblem. Actually, even if it was Fire Emblem, they would be buggered! Because in the weapons triangle, sword beats axe. It's true. In Fire Emblem, there's a weapons triangle. Sword beats axe, axe beats spear, and spear beats sword. Oh, look! Oh, so for your class, if a monster has this little bean-looking icon above it, it's for your hunting log, which means you should do it. Why? Free experience. Not necessarily the 98. Nothing. Just me scaring off some marauders. Probably best if you don't end up changing the numbers that pop up on screen at face value. I'm actually getting far more experience than that. For example, I obtained 156 plus 160% experience points. And look at that. I'm level 6. Now I need to talk to this nervous merchant. Boing! They tore me from my saddle and took everything I own. Bring my goods back to me, I beg of you! There are certain quests in this game where you interact with things, and sometimes you'll just interact with it and nothing will happen. But sometimes when there's purple smoke like this, you examine the item or interact with it, and an enemy will pop up. Yeah, when I first started this game and I did this, and I just let my character do the auto-attacking, yeah, I beat this guy, but the next guy I died to. In the meantime, I'm gonna kill these things. That's it for my hunting log. Plus, I'm level 6, level 5, what can they do to stop me? You will not win, I will beat you! Relax, I'm gonna kill 3 of you. 3? Yeah, 3. Poke. Poke. Take that, you foxy cur! Honestly, I don't know why, but I just reminded myself of that particular scene from Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today To nail your gizzard to the mast, you poxy cur! 12 bless you, adventurer. If it weren't for good women like you, I'd never leave home. I'm not, like, honestly, without context, most people would not like the way that sounded. But given the fact that I went, got his goods back, and killed the people who took them, yeah, that's welcome. Anyway, sprint! Oh, I kicked the hornet's nest all right, and I took out their queen. I know, not accurate because of the fact that it was a dude, but the analogy still stands, okay? Oh, look at that. I'm right by the Gladiators Guild. Tomoe-rin. Hello, goodbye. I'm running off to do quests. So I'll probably get back to where I was before, and then probably stop the stream there. So that when I end up streaming it again, I'm back at where I was when I went to upload the video, and this time nothing will go wrong here, hopefully. Good, it is finished. And with that, this stage of your training is complete. This time your enemies were ill-behaved ruffians, but who knows what manner of opponents you'll face in the future. Regardless, I have faith that you will do well. Master your sword, and you shall master yourself. Now then, there will be work for you in the days to come. Return to your training, Serena. We will speak again. I get a bronze bastard sword, and I believe I will take... Actually, yeah, I will take the eye patch. Level 7! And I will not be able to accept the next quest from Mila until I'm level 10. I said at the beginning of the stream that it wasn't going to be doing female voices because female voices and me being a guy don't mix. Silly Jenny! You silly, silly woman, you! You are very silly. And silly is good. Oh. Hello. Goodbye. Oh, right. I have to go to the dispatch yard. I'm dumb. Dum-de-dum-dum. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum-dum. Well, yeah. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, they're... That is fair. That is fair. And I apologize for how I responded to that, Jenny. I do. I was in the wrong. I am sorry.
No! I've got bigger things to do!
Wait. Yeah, I'll go to these, alright? Doesn't matter what race I am. On foot, I am not faster than a chocobo.
I'm sorry! I need you for my hunting log!
you spray on me? No? You tried and failed, for I dodged your trap jaws. And yes, and as you know that some female voice actors do end up playing male characters. But at the same time, 9 out of 10, those male characters are kids. For example, there was a female voice actor that played Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. Until Gohan ended up becoming a teenager. Like, high school teenager. Not, when he defeated Cell. That was still a woman. But that's because in some cases the female voice, like, that particular vocal, or the particular vocal range of that woman ended up fitting the purpose for that particular character. All of my female voices sound the same. Which is why I figured instead of straining myself and trying to do something that I know that I can't do, I'd just read it normally. My vocal range does not cover females. Although, if I did have somebody who could essentially do the same quests that I'm doing and read the female parts for me, who happen to be a girl, that would mean that I would not need to worry about that. But that's not always going to wind up being the case, though. I'm not always going to wind up having that available to me. Oh, hi, Ixion. Bye, Ixion. I am off to go speak with Papa Sean, and you, sir, can enjoy your thaumaturgy. You enjoy your thaumaturginess. I will run off and enjoy being a cat lady. Hunting log! Now I need another snap. Hello! Goodbye! Just absent-mindedly quoting Baldwin. Oh, hello, I'm level 8. Now let's see if I can remember where certain things were on the hotbar I have on my main character. Let's see. Riot Blade up there. Rage of Halone there. Shield Lob there. Iron Will there. Sentinel there. Total Eclipse there. I suppose Butterfly can stay there for now. This, at any rate, Rampart can go there. Reprisal can go there. Remote can go there. Arm's Length can go there. Interject there. Jerk there. Oh, Circle of Scorn there. some of these actions I'm not going to get until later on, but this is just how my hotbar was set up on my other character. Well, you certainly look the part of an adventurer. Oh, wait, I need to give this guy a voice.
Well, you certainly look the part of an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Mamadi advised me to expect, I am Papa Shan, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lalafell, passing his final years in quiet and solitude. No, there have been plenty of both these last 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now true Uldans work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we have rebuilt Uldar to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. The railways which run through this dispatch yard, too, were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. But there is still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain, and there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Uldar needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work suited for one of your ability.
And this is where I had stopped on my view. I will equip the altered thigh boots, as well as the leather eye patch. And hello, never mind, goodbye, other person. I will be ending the stream here, but fear not, I shall continue where we left off later. And by later, I more than likely mean tomorrow. I bid you all adieu and enjoy your night. Goodbye.